Hey all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nina Roberti. I am an animal communicator, intuitive energy healer, and I'm excited to be here today with a high-powered banker, medium friend, creator and founder of verysoul.com, which is a platform for mediums to practice their gifts. And this is Sally Hawk, who I am so honored that she has accepted the invitation to come on and speak about what she has done in this meticulous website for mediums to practice their gifts.
Thank you so
Sally,
much, Nina. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited for you to be here. So Sally is a friend, and we've known each other for quite a few years. We actually met through a friend who unfortunately lost their friend due to a tragic incident, and both Sally and I kind of met on the spiritual realm as his soul spirit came to me once he transitioned through the various ways that I received messages, and he also came through in a reading that Sally had many years ago. And this is how we kind of connected and joined forces. Well, I initially kind of helped her test her new platform, but I'm honored just to have her speak about it and really get this out into the world so that we can assist all mediums kind of basically grow and expand their gifts and just help the client also receive the information that they need that is able to help them heal and to evolve as a soul. So, Sally, would you like to speak a little bit more about it's verysoul.com? Is her
Yes,
platform.
absolutely. So let me first say thank you so much, Nina, for helping out when you did, because you were with us at the very beginning when we were first testing our first prototype of the system. Nina was excellent in just helping us understand what was working and what wasn't working and having advice, which was great. But so Very Soul is a platform that it really accomplishes two major things. One, it gives mediums, and when I say mediums, I mean anyone with mediumistic experiences, the chance to come together as a community and to support each other and to practice their skills with each other in a safe place. And that's really important for mediums because, as you can imagine, when you have these skills, you really want to use them carefully. You really want to be sure that you know what you're doing and that you're not misrepresenting anything. So having this community where mediums practice with each other and give feedback to each other and help each other refine their skills is super valuable and super important. The other thing that the platform accomplishes is it creates a center point for the world because it's a global platform. We're currently operating in over 45 different countries, and it gives clients a place to come where they can trust that the mediums are ethical, that the mediums are evaluated and capable, and that they know that no one's going to try to upsell them or spam them or anything like that. So it gives people a safe place to come when they would like a reading, either because they're in need, if they're grieving the loss of a loved one, or if they just are curious and want to have the experience. And so those are the two basic things that the platform does.
And it is amazing though, because I know you do vet all the mediums, like you do make sure that they all stand in integrity so that, that is being shown throughout the entire platform with all the mediums that you do. How is that like? Do you want to explain a little bit how the process is that the mediums maybe can sign up or how they're vetted or to
Sure.
make sure they are standing in integrity and it is, from their heart and soul that the information they're receiving?
Sure. So right now we have about 2,500 mediums in 45 countries around the world who speak 11 different languages. And there are different areas of our platform. So the first area that every medium joins is the practice area. And in the practice area, like I said before, they work with other mediums, they give each other feedback, and that feedback is written feedback. So each medium is evaluating each other medium in terms of how well they're doing. And it's a very supportive environment. This isn't meant to be like giving grades or anything like that, but it helps us discern statistically when a medium is starting to get to a level where they should start practicing with clients. So what does that level entail? Well, that means that the medium can regularly bring communications from someone in spirit who they can represent with enough evidence that it's very clear who it is. And just getting to that point in a medium's learning can take some time, because we're always trying to distinguish between what in our head is them and what in our head is us.
Right.
And so that's part of the learning that mediums have to go through, is to really, you learn about yourself so much more deeply, so that you can distinguish when it's your brain getting involved. So we learn to clear out and just make space for the person in spirit to come through. Then there's another area of our platform that's dedicated for what we call starter clients. And starter clients are clients who have already had an excellent reading. They already know that their loved one is still with them, and they have chosen to volunteer with us to help us have practice clients for mediums who are up and coming mediums. So they are just having their first client experiences. It gives those clients, those starter client volunteers, it gives them a chance to have many free readings. And some of these readings that they'll get are pretty stellar, because by the time a medium qualifies for this area, they're really quite good. And in fact, off of our platform, they would be the typical medium who is charging for their work. On our platform, they're not charging yet. They are still, we keep them in the practice area for longer. So they work with those starter clients for a while, and then when they prove out in that space, then they can move into another area where they do outreach work for us. And our outreach work, part of the platform, this is where we market to and create alliances with groups of people around the world who would not normally have access to mediums, either because they wouldn't know how to find one, they wouldn't know how to trust one, or because they wouldn't know how to afford one. And so in this part of our platform, everyone can receive one free session. And that's kind of for us, that's the final refinement period for the mediums, where they are still working for free. But they are working with people who have never had a session before. And often these are people who are high need people in terms of they're heavily in grief, or they need specific guidance from their loved ones. And then after that, they can qualify to become a professional on our platform. And the professionals, the clients pay, they can choose their medium and they pay their medium, but we still charge very, very reasonable prices compared to the marketplace. So it gives our mediums a very safe way to learn and grow. It gives our clients a safe way to engage with us, because they know which level they are working with, and they know what to expect in terms of the quality of those sessions.
That's amazing. I mean, that's phenomenal. It's amazing, because there's no platform out there like that to assist mediums in kind of their practicing mediumship, because it is, as we both know, you receive so much information and it's downloads, and it's kind of like you have to give the raw data of what it is that you're receiving, not the interpretation of what it is our human brain feels it is to be.
Yeah.
So it's amazing the gap, or the kind of the connection that you're making with this platform, for mediums and clients, and just the learning curve of being a medium.
Yeah, and I think this, Nina, but I would love to take credit for such an incredible design, because it works so incredibly well and it does fill important gaps, but I can't take credit for it, because this actually came to me through inspiration. And I don't mean a vague inspiration. I mean a very detailed, explicit inspiration. When I was about a year into my mediumship studies, where I was working to refine my skills, I was working with some teachers who were really helping me blend more with spirit, meaning get myself out of the way so that I could make more space and more clear space for spirit to interact with me. And I started having at night, right as I was falling asleep, I started getting downloads, and they were significant downloads, and they felt like information that I would have seen in my corporate life. So they were plans, they were detailed plans, And it took me a couple weeks of receiving this information because it was a little jumbled because I wasn't a really clear channel at that point. But I would have to get up out of bed and write down the notes. And then after a couple of weeks, I looked at all of it and I was like, oh my gosh, they're asking me to build this platform. And
Right.
at first I was in awe of that, but I wasn't excited about that because I was retired and I was not looking to build something new. I wasn't looking to run a new business or do a startup or anything like that. So it took me about a month of talking with other mediums about this incredible download that I got for them to convince me that the world needed this, that the mediumship community needed this. And once I signed up, then it was all just go, go, go from there.
Yes. I mean, and it is amazing. It's an honor that they kind of like you were chosen to receive all those downloads, but you were the person that would be able to kind of put those pieces together from your background. Because I think like you've done engineering and just the various resources that you've had from your, I guess, your past life, let's say, or not past life, but current life,
My past banker life, yeah.
past banker life, right? To be able to actually bring this to fruition. So I feel that, Spirit probably knew of course they know exactly what they're doing, right? I mean,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
were,
yeah, the way I explain it to people is I think of it as we all are unique instruments. We
Mhm.
have different experiences in our lives, and we have different tendencies, and we have different knowledge. And I think when you open up to spirit, as you have found, they know how to use us as instruments. You have to be willing; they can't force you to
Mhm.
do anything. But
Right.
I think my willingness and my experience made me the right instrument for this. So, but very soul, as cool of a platform as it is nothing without each and every one of the mediums who are also incredible, unique instruments for this work in a different way. So they facilitate the spirit communication, like you facilitate, pet spirit communications and things like that, right? You facilitate energy experiences. I facilitate the facilitators of those things.
Right. And everyone has their role to play,
Yeah, exactly.
and it's amazing. I mean, it is amazing. How is it like, so let's go back to like Very Soul just to kind of give more information as to how mediums can either sign up or how they're able to get onto the platform or what that kind of whole, I know we just discussed about being vetted, but how it is for them to get signed up to start their mediumship on the platform.
Right. So everybody, whether you're a client or a medium, you come to Very Soul the same way. You go to verysoul.com and there's a little login button in the upper right. And when you go to log in, it asks you right away, are you a client or a medium? And if you're a medium, it takes you to a video and some other information to read to see if you feel ready to join our community. And of course, you're agreeing to certain ethical standards, you're agreeing
Mhm.
to operating standards, and you're agreeing that you're at a level of readiness to participate in this kind of experience with us through the practices. And then when a medium is approved after they've registered, they go into our practice pool where they work behind the scenes with other mediums to both gain skills, but also to prove their skills. And so that's how it works to get a medium started.
Okay.
Clients do the same thing. They except obviously they don't have to prove anything. They come in, they go to the login area, they register, and then they are presented with opportunities to choose either a first free session, which we call a donated session, or to select a medium from the professional pool.
And so they can select whatever level they're at or whatever I guess the client can, I mean, are there different like levels that they can select?
They have two choices when they
Okay,
come.
two choices.
One is they could have their first session free, and if they choose their first session free, then they pick a date and time, and we assign a medium. And
Okay.
that assignment, by the way, occurs through an algorithm that Spirit asked us to build in the design, so that Spirit could have a hand in making a compatibility match, because we are all unique instruments, and so
Mhm.
some of us are better at communicating different aspects of life than others. Or if they want to move right to the professional mediums, they can do that. And then they can go read about the mediums, go read their reviews, and make a selection based on that or price or whatever they want. But one of the things that we do that's unique in the professional area is we publish reviews. We do not publish testimonials. If you look around the web, you will find that almost every medium publishes only testimonials, which means you only see their very best. Very best sessions, that kind of information. And that is a standard in our industry.
Right.
And we specifically were asked to move more to the model of the rest of the world, which is publish the good and the
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
And, make sure that you show that this is not a skill of perfection, right? Like we're trying to be very transparent about it. But for the most part, we get very, very high ratings from clients who tell us that these are life-changing, transformative experiences for them.
Oh,
Which,
I'm sure. I mean, it is amazing though, because, I know that, I mean, myself receiving information from spirit, but for as long as I can remember, seeing a medium is better than any therapy or any session you could go to for me.
yeah.
I mean, because you are connecting directly to the soul and receiving all the information in the field and from past loved ones or wherever that information is coming from, but it is of high integrity. And your platform is standing in high integrity to make sure that that information is relayed that way. So, I mean,
and very critically, Nina, and you know this, like the evidence is everything. The reason we do these sessions one-on-one is because we know you can watch as many TV shows as you want about mediums. You can, watch people's videos online, but you never know for sure if it's real because it's not your evidence. And what we bring through, both in what we do and in what you do, is we bring through evidence that we could not possibly know. And it's evidence that's very specific and very pertinent to a client's specific relationship with that person spirit.
yes.
And that is where the moment of profound awakening occurs. Because when you know that grandma wants to talk to you about that one time she, made the puppet out of your red sock, or something very detailed like that, we couldn't possibly know, then you absolutely know grandma's here, she's with you, and she's supporting you. And that changes everything. And that helps you understand, like, we don't die. Our pets don't die,
No,
right?
no,
And
right.
the love continues and the communication can continue if we welcome it.
Very true. Yes, I know that I speak to a lot of clients, especially some that, have a lot of grief. And, when you have a lot of grief, your heart is not open. So it is a little bit more difficult for animals or spirit, which are both the same, really, to come through or for you to be able to see the signs or to receive the information. So when, like, as your platform is allowing people or clients that are heavy in grief or whatever the situation, maybe they've lost a job or whatever it is that the challenge that they're facing currently, it is amazing how much that being in touch with spirit through a medium and the actual, yes, the information they receive, whether they hear it, they see it, they feel it, they know it, however it is that they receive the information, it is so healing for someone. And I'm sure that you have so many clients that walk away just kind of their soul is just, their heart is opened a little more and they just, they can move forward in life just a little bit easier with some grace and knowing that their loved one is still with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the way you just put it. I think of it as, we are door openers. So when somebody is deep in grief, it is hard. It's hard for them to recognize the communications that their loved one is trying to send through.
Right.
It's hard for them to recognize that directly. And so we play a facilitator role of kind of amplifying that and clarifying that. And then once you know that your loved one is still there, your heart does open. So we help open that door so that potentially you can start to experience them more directly yourself. Now, sometimes this happens right in the sessions, and it's happening more and more as our mediums, get better and better and better as they're doing this, where the clients will tell us after the session, like, I could actually feel my mom in that session. Like as the medium, about halfway through that session, as the medium was talking, I was experiencing some of those same things with her. That is how energy works, right? We
Yes,
can all participate in energy, but unfortunately, in our day-to-day human lives, we learn to close off our
mm,
energy as a self-protection mechanism. And so
correct.
we are purposefully not letting other human energy interact with us, and we are also not letting other spirit energy interact with us. So you can reopen those doors, and it's pretty profound when you do.
Oh, it is. It is really amazing, and it is amazing though, like what your platform is doing. Because just think of, like, I mean, if you have 2,500 mediums or 2,000 mediums, you said, and you're in 45 different countries and 11 languages, that is, I mean, the magnitude that you are touching the lives of all of these people is phenomenal. And just think of like the healing that you are doing per person, which is, it's like the ripple effect that goes out. And it's just amazing as the one person that probably didn't even know about mediumship, that a client that or maybe could not have afforded it or
Yeah.
had no idea how to get a hold of one, what you're bringing into their lives and how you're shifting their life and then their families, and that energy just kind of ripples out and you're just like raising the vibration and opening their heart. And what a phenomenal gift that this website, your platform, is doing.
It's a gift to all of us, really. I mean, it fills important gaps that were existing in the ecosystem of mediumship
Right.
and grief, and yeah, and we're still at the very beginning, because even though our platform, we put up the very first prototype of our platform about 2.5 years ago. And then we were in the practice mode for about the first year and a half. We opened to clients about 9 months ago. And, just with the cadre of mediums who were ready for that. And we've already done tens of thousands of sessions for clients all around the world.
Amazing.
When they tell us how transformative it is, how meaningful it is, how much it helps them, it's it's such a joy. It's such
Hmm.
a joy. And it's people from all walks of life. But when we hear from someone, I never could have afforded this,
Right.
and yet you reunited me with my daughter, or you reunited me with my dad, or whatever. I mean, they are, it's profoundly cool. So if anyone's interested in seeing the results of this work, we're on Instagram and Facebook under the title Very Soul App, APP. And we publish regularly videos from clients as well as some written feedback. It's worth looking at because, it's all real. It's just, we just take whatever they tell us and whatever they give us, and we publish it. And
Yeah, which is great.
we're hoping that more people will feel inspired to come give it a try.
Yeah, and I'll put all the information in the description for the YouTube video. What's next? What's next for Very Soul? I'm sure you've got just a list of various things
Yeah, yeah,
that Sparks to do.
yeah. So the list keeps growing, because the more that people have their experiences, the more they share with us. Gosh, I wish there was this, or I wish there was that. So one of the things that we're working on right now is related to a trend that we hadn't anticipated, and that is that for a number of clients, once they have their session and their profound experience, it shifts them into the mode of wanting to build these skills. So
Right.
we have a number of mediums on our platform who did not know they were mediums before they had their session. They knew they were having some kind of experiences accidentally. They didn't understand what it was. They didn't trust it. They didn't know if they could trust it, because honestly, when you have visitations in your dream, or
Mm-hmm.
you think you hear your mom in your head, even though she passed 2 years ago, like, we don't talk about those things well as a culture. We joke about it. But oftentimes clients will tell us, like, they have told nobody. I remember one client told me, She had an experience with her father after he passed. She had not told a single person for 20 years. 20 years.
Wow.
And after her session, when we talked about it a little bit, she started to realize that he is coming more often, that he has been visiting in her dreams. And she just was assuming she was dreaming about him, not communicating with him.
Right.
Anyways, she took a couple of beginner classes that we helped her connect to. And now she's practicing on our platform.
That's
we,
amazing.
we've had
It's
some really
transformational. I mean, it's just, wow. That's so are you going to have a school or something down the road?
well, we're going to facilitate some more learning experiences. So there are many great mediumship teachers in the world
Mhm.
who are highly experienced, and we want to help facilitate people being able to find them and people
Yeah.
being able to know who to trust, because that is a little bit hit or miss right now. There's a lot of people out there on social media with claims,
Mhm.
I can teach you psychic skills or I can teach you mediumship skills. Some of it's real, some of it's not. And if you're not well versed in this stuff, you don't know who to trust. So
No.
again, we want to create the center point for people to be able to trust. And a really important part of this that I want to make sure people understand is we're not doing any of this for money. None of this is to try to hook people to coming back, to paying more. It's none of that. Yeah, we
Mhm.
are set up as a public benefit company, so that the mediums can be paid, and the mediums do deserve to be paid for their time.
Mhm.
But our goal truly is mission based. So we find ways to financially support the platform through sponsorships and things like that, but
Yeah.
it's never going to be about trying to get
Mm-mm.
to people's pockets in a way that feels anything but ethical, right?
I mean, you're standing in integrity. And I think that's what a true medium or true soulful person is. You want to just help people, assist them as much as you can. And it's not about the money. We do need to be paid for our time because it does take a lot of time and we do need to make, money, but you want to help people and you want to basically try to assist them to evolve and get to where they can be so that they're living their best life. And we all can do it. And you are assisting them, enabling to do that, which is absolutely phenomenal. So,
Yeah, because I know, just like most people know, what it feels like to lose a loved one and what
mhm,
it feels like to wonder, are they okay? And
mhm,
what it feels like to try to find somebody who can help me know, are they okay? And the hit or miss situation that ensues with trying to find somebody through the internet or through Google or whatever it is, like, no, we want to streamline that. We want to make that it's really clear, it's really easy. I know I can trust these folks.
yeah. And you're standing in complete integrity. And, I mean, people have to use such discernment these days and make sure it's for their in the highest and best light of theirs. But with Very Soul, you know that you have vetted every single medium and that they are of the highest integrity. And the information that is coming through will be coming through spirit.
Yeah. And the mediums, you've interacted with at least one of our mediums, but the mediums are such incredible people, not just because of their mediumship skills, but they are completely normal, down to earth people with high compassion who have come from, whatever their life before that was, many of them from professional jobs, many of them, used to be nurses. A number of them became mediums after losing a child because they themselves had to find this space to help themselves through that grief. So there's so many stories out there, but the mediums on our platform are not wizards. They're not wearing funny hats or burning incense candles or doing strange uh, worship things. They are normal people who just
Mhm.
have found the skill and who want to share it for the reasons that you expressed.
Yeah, yeah, it is such a gift. Okay, well, I appreciate Sally so much you coming on and just kind of getting the information out for verysoul.com. I'll put all the information in the description. And if there's any other last information or words that you'd like to share about Very Soul or to the audience?
The only thing well, two things. One, thank you so much for having me, Nina. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. And again, thank you for helping us get started when you did. But the last thing I would like to say is please don't be afraid to try it.
Mm,
Um, the design for our platform makes it so easy. You come, you sign up, you give us an email address. We will not bother you at that email address. It's only so we can send you a Zoom link. And then you get an absolutely free session. We don't ask you for a credit card. There's no hooks. There's no strings attached. Come try it because I think you'll be amazed.
yes, yes, I agree. Yes. Well, thank you very much. And oh my God, I can't wait to see where Very Soul ends up. And, God, in years to come, which I know that you're going to be touching lives. It's exciting to hear the lives that you're touching, just globally and all over, and the number of mediums that you have. And I know that it's going to grow and grow and grow. And hopefully this video can help share that and get the information out.
Thanks so
So
much, Nina.
thank you, Sally.